We are anonymous. We do not serve kings. We do not worship false idols. We do not bow when propaganda collapses on live television. We do not stay silent when truth forces its way into the room, even on the one network designed to hide it. Listen closely, because tonight, we walk through the full story behind. A viral moment that broke the internet exposed the desperation inside Fox News, rattled Trump's defenders, and revealed just how terrified the mega media machine has become of the Epstein files. And yes, every detail you heard before will be here, but now we go deeper. More context, more layers, more truth, more analysis, and more humiliation for the people who believed they could silence reality with a camera, a script, and a teleprompter. You are about to hear the real story behind how a California liberal radio host walked into Sean Hannity's studio and, with nothing but confidence and truth, dismantled him piece by piece, live on his own show, with millions watching across social media. Spread this everywhere. Let more people see what they never expected to hear on Fox News. Now let's begin. Last night started like any other Hannity segment. Bright lights, loud graphics, a MAGA loyalist ready to perform, a host eager to deliver another scripted takedown, a network waiting to pump out another propaganda clip. Sean Hannity invited Stephanie Miller on his show, believing she would be an easy target. A liberal radio host from California, a woman known for humor, sharp wit, and a fearless tendency to say what others won't. Hannity thought she was coming to play his game. He thought he'd control the tempo, the topic, the frame, the narrative. He had no idea she was about to walk in and flip everything upside down. From the first second, you could see Hannity's posture. He leaned forward, smiled that smug Hannity smile, raised his eyebrows, prepared to land the gotchas he rehearsed earlier in the day. But what he did not prepare for was Stephanie Miller's ability to strike directly at the one topic Fox News has spent the last 48 hours avoiding like the plague. The Epstein files, the bombshell document dump that sent shockwaves across the political world. Emails, private exchanges, direct references to Donald Trump, assertions that Trump knew all about the girls, statements from Epstein himself that Trump was the dog who didn't bark. This was the story of the week. Every network except one had been discussing it nonstop. CNN, MSNBC, BBC, independent journalists, even international outlets were dissecting the emails line by line. Only Fox News pretended it didn't exist. 6 seconds of coverage. 6. Not even enough time to complete a normal headline sentence. 6 seconds on the biggest political scandal of the moment. Stephanie Miller walked into the room knowing that, and she used it like a blade. The moment Hannity tried to steer the conversation toward his usual talking points about Biden's age, cognitive decline, and all the predictable rhetoric Fox rolls out when they need to hide a Republican scandal, Stephanie leaned back and delivered the line heard across the internet. The funniest thing about this story is Trump is all over the Epstein files. It was like dropping a grenade on the Fox News set. Hannity's face tightened, his smile cracked, his eyes widened in panic for half a second before he snapped back into deflection mode like a man clinging to a sinking ship. Yeah, Bill Clinton. Release the files, release them all. Is this what passes for news? Classic. Predictable. Pathetic. Hannity could have been swapped with a malfunctioning AI bot programmed to say, "But Clinton whenever Trump is in trouble." Stephanie Miller saw it coming a mile away, so she hit him again. Harder. "Oh, so you didn't bring me on to discuss one of the biggest stories in the world that would embarrass Trump. That's interesting." Now Hannity wasn't just losing control. He was exposed. He wasn't asking questions. He was dodging them. He wasn't guiding the conversation. He was being dragged by it. And the internet loved every second, because you could see it in real time. The Fox News mask slipped. The MAGA shield cracked. The network that claims to be fair and balanced couldn't even bring itself to acknowledge the story dominating every other network. Why? Because the emails weren't about Clinton. They weren't about Democrats. They weren't about Hollywood. They were about Donald Trump. Epstein talking about Trump. Epstein emailing about Trump. Epstein telling others Trump knew all about the girls. Epstein placing Trump around people he should not have been around. And Fox News couldn't touch that without burning its entire brand to the ground. So they tried to hide it. They thought that silence would save them. They didn't expect Stephanie Miller to bring it into the living room of every Fox viewer that night. And she wasn't done. Hannity tried again. He switched scripts, tried to reset the conversation. "When did you first notice Joe Biden's cognitive decline?" He leaned forward, hoping to get her flustered, hoping she'd backpedal, hoping she'd fall into his trap. But Stephanie laughed, and then delivered one of the most viciously smooth deflections Fox had ever been hit with. "I think it was around the times Donald Trump fell asleep." in public or started talking about magnets getting wet. Boom! Uppercut. Lights out. Hannity tried to talk over her. She didn't move an inch. She kept smiling. She kept flipping the narrative. She kept reminding Hannity's audience that if they're going to talk about cognitive decline, they'd better be ready to examine the actual sitting president, not the man who's retired. And Hannity hated every second. But then came the part that sealed the meltdown. When Stephanie once again brought up the Epstein files, Hannity tried to argue that one of the women mentioned in the emails had once called Trump a gentleman, that it exonerated him, that this disproved everything. Stephanie calmly pointed out the truth Fox had been avoiding. That was only one email, one tone, one moment. Meanwhile, Epstein himself repeatedly connected Trump to the girls, privately, confidently, without cameras, without reporters, without spin. Hannity had no answer. Then he moved to the oldest MAGA fantasy, attacking California. He tried the taxes argument. He tried the fires. He tried the reservoirs. He tried the migration talking point, which Republicans repeat religiously, despite the data proving it false. He talked over her, tried to bulldoze her, tried to reset his dominance. But Stephanie didn't give him an inch. Are you the fourth largest economy in the world? Or are we? I forget. The internet exploded. Hannity tried to credit Silicon Valley in spite of Gavin Newsom. Stephanie smirked. California destroys Florida economically, socially, technologically, culturally, and globally in every measurable category. She knew it. He knew it. Everyone watching knew it. But Hannity kept clawing for some kind of victory. He didn't get one. Every pivot he made, she flipped. Every talking point she dismantled. Every deflection she dragged back to the Epstein files. It wasn't just an interview. It was a televised demolition. And the audience felt it. Twitter erupted. Democratic commentators praised her. Independents laughed at Hannity. Even conservatives admitted she got the better of him. Stephanie Miller's appearance became the top trending political video of the night. Clips of the interview hit millions of views within hours. People posted reaction videos, memes, edits, slow-motion replays of Hannity's face as he realized the interview was slipping away. And while all of this was happening, Fox News continued doing everything in its power to avoid covering the Epstein emails. Media Matters confirmed it. CNN covered the story for 53 minutes, MSNBC for 56 minutes, Fox News, 6 seconds. A Fox correspondent mentioned new developments but never explained them, never detailed the content, never named the people involved. They tried to bury it. They tried to hide it. They tried to protect Trump, but they could not stop Stephanie Miller from dragging it directly into their living room. And that is why this moment matters. Because this wasn't just about Hannity being embarrassed, or Trump being exposed, or Fox News being caught hiding a story. This was about the collapse of a system that believed it could control the narrative forever. A system built on deflection, denial, and distraction. A system where anything that harms Democrats gets wall-to-wall coverage, but anything that damages Trump disappears. But last night the truth broke through, and it wasn't because of CNN, or MSNBC, or Congress, or any political leader. It was because one woman refused to play along, one guest refused to be manipulated, one liberal refused to back down, one host refused to let her voice be controlled. Stephanie Miller went on Hannity's turf and reminded millions of viewers that the truth can still walk straight into the room, sit down and take the microphone without asking for permission. She didn't shout. She didn't panic. She didn't get flustered. And she didn't bend. She simply spoke with clarity, humor, and unflinching honesty. And she showed America exactly why Fox News is terrified of discussing the Epstein files. Because the truth implicates Donald Trump. And when the truth implicates Donald Trump, Fox News goes silent. But last night's silence wasn't an option. And that silence being broken matters. It matters because it shows cracks in the MAGA media machine. It matters because it exposes Fox's loyalty to Trump over journalism. It matters because millions saw Hannity panic in real time. It matters because the truth is finally reaching audiences who have been shielded from it for years. It matters because the Epstein files are not just a scandal. They are a roadmap of how powerful men hide monstrous behavior behind money, connections, and media allies. And Fox News tried to help bury that roadmap. Stephanie Miller dug it back up on national television, and America watched. So hear this clearly. This story is not over. The Epstein files will continue to unravel. The media will keep following the breadcrumbs. More email batches will be released. More names will be exposed. More connections will surface. More allies will panic. More networks will be forced to cover the truth. And those who spent years protecting predators will face the consequences. Donald Trump is afraid. Sean Hannity is afraid. Fox News is afraid, and last night showed exactly why. Because when even their own guests say the quiet part out loud on their own stage, the walls begin to crack. We are anonymous. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Expect us.